Hello, this is a picture I'm just finishing of a fellow called Alex Belfield, and his case is very interesting. He's taking a case, or there's a case being brought against him about stalking, cyber stalking. He hasn't actually followed anybody, but he's accused of sending thousands of emails, of which very few seem to be in the illegal bundle and presented in court, but thousands of emails to people like Jeremy Vine and to other individuals in the BBC. And his case is that this is legitimate journalism and parody comedy, and their case is that this is aggressive bullying, effectively. And there seems to be charges of bullying on both sides, but it seems to me that although Alex Belfield is as he says, a potty mouth, although I've had experience of that myself. And although I certainly wouldn't condone the sort of things that he says, I am inclined to think that there's a value to the idea of freedom of speech. And that if we have freedom of speech, we must allow people to say things that we don't agree with, that we don't approve of, and that we don't endorse. That is freedom of speech. And that is one of the great principles of a modern, free, democratic society. Otherwise, we're moving into censorship and dictatorship, which is not something we want to go into. But at the same time, we are also looking at a new form of media. The power of social media, the power of YouTube, the power of Google, and so on. And this is far away from the old power of the press and of Fleet Street. And do the laws that govern the old power of the press and Fleet Street still work today with the new media? And what protections do we have? And what protections do journalists have? I think there's lots of questions that need to be answered. The result of this case will be very interesting, but at the same time, it tells us that we need to seriously look again at the laws. This is why it's greatly regrettable that the DCMS has been so mismanaged for so many years. What should I say there? My opinion, allegedly. No, I think it's a demonstrable fact. It's been mismanaged, and it's been handed to people who don't seem to take it very seriously. They're not in office long enough to see new legislation through, to ensure that new legislation is coherent and free from technical errors. So we need this new legislation. We need to make sure that we can rely on our law when looking at the way that social media behaves, and particularly given the fact that this is a global phenomenon, and that we're in a position where Google or any one of these social media giants can just pool, they can pull or promote a post at whim, and we have very little comeback. When I lost access, for example, to my Instagram, there was no one to talk to. My Instagram had been stolen by a hacker who claimed to be in Nigeria. I actually spoke to this person. It was quite intimidating. They called me. How did they get my telephone number? I had been so ruthlessly hacked, and I felt very vulnerable. But there was nobody to talk to. And although the Facebook process and the Meta process sent me through various links which said that somebody would call me. Nobody did, of course. Nobody did. I resolved the problem eventually on my own with the help of some friends. But I got no help at all from Meta. No help at all. So this is a business which seems simply there to make money and not to support the people who are its customers, people like me. As it is, I must say, I don't take Instagram terribly seriously now, but maybe I should. Maybe I should.